aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So, generally speaking, this warning that I like to give you, that don't be so keen on taking vows, receiving empowerments, and so forth. Don't do that. This is a very strong appeal, request, suggestions that I'm giving. That don't be so keen on the empowerments. Oh, this empowerment is so rare. Oh, he's also going to give, this is perhaps the last time. No, it's not about last or first. It's about whether you are capable, right? If you're not capable of taking the cyanide, don't take it, right? So the point is whether or not you are capable. So why these are the designated as the confidential, secret, and so forth. It's all for the reason that the beings will not suffer. The beings who are not really prepared for this, they just jump into this, then they suffer. So in order not to let the beings suffer, so these are maintained confidential from the people. So when you are ready, somehow it will come to you. We don't worry. When you are ready, automatically it will come to you. Even though you want it, it will come to you. Right? So whereas if you are not ready, then the thought that should I take it, not take it, means you are not ready. Guaranteed. Right? Okay. So this is so this is the basic, what do you call it? The basic, the thinking outlook that we need to have pertaining to the vows and the empowerments and so forth. Be very serious with this, and don't think simply because somebody else is doing it, don't jump. Meanwhile, what are we going to do for the next 2 days? Morning, aspiration Bodhisattva vow. It has nothing to do with any kind of commitment and so forth. It's very simple. There's at the most, the commitment that you have is that from today onwards, to the best I can, not that I will, to the best I can, I'll be kind towards others. If not, at least I will not harm others. This is the commitment. This much everybody can do it, right? So this, even according to the Israeli law, you should be doing that. You should not be harming others, right? So therefore, this is something everybody can commit. This is not, there are many, whereas the Bodhisattva vow, there are two kinds. What we're going to do tomorrow and day after tomorrow, there is an aspirational Bodhisattva vow. There's another one, which is the full-fledged Bodhisattva vow. There, one must be very, very, very experienced with bodhicitta. You should have the experience of bodhicitta, and you know all these rules and regulations. That's a very different part. That is what we are not going to do. Okay, and then along with that, the morning meditation, all we'll do from tomorrow. Okay. Now going back to page 3, which we already read. I'd like to begin from this. In fact, these two lines, the one who has transformed in the middle, it reads, the one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugard and protector, to you I make prostrations. Okay, these two stanzas in Tibetan, it is these are the two Tibetan lines, 2 lines in Tibetan. These 2 lines, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, of those of us who have received teachings from His Holiness, oftentimes His Holiness cite these 2 lines. And I remember once when His Holiness was in Delhi, there was 2013, the Secretary of His Holiness called me up very early morning, and said His Holiness wants you to be there. So I rushed there, and then he gave me lots of the advice pertaining to Tibet House and so forth. And then he again recited these 2 lines. So these 2 lines there in Tibetan, translation English, which we read already. So this is so close to his heart, His Holiness's heart. And then, interestingly, these 2 lines were actually composed as a word of salutation to the Buddha by the incredibly great, the saint, philosopher, and logician Acharya Dignaga in 6th century AD. These 2 lines written in 6th century AD. Then what happened was that in 7th century AD, there was one great, again another logician, incredibly refined, outstanding logician, Acharya Dharmadhatu. Some of you already heard heard his name, Acharya Dharmadhatu. Then Acharya Dharmadhatu, just reading these two lines, he was stunned to see these two lines. Just reading these two lines, okay, how many of you were stunned by reading these two lines? Wow, it's amazing. How many are stunned? Okay, so this logician, he was stunned by reading these two lines, and that made him to write a whole commentary with 283 stanzas on these two, as commentary on these two lines. And to really understand these two lines, to really understand his commentary, 283 stanzas, you need again another huge volume, right? Without which you cannot understand it. Okay, this is the profundity, subtlety here. So I don't want to go into too detail. I just like to take you the surface as to what the journey is. Actually the journey of this young prince Siddhartha, age 29, and early on, say like age 10, from there he started the journey, and the actual journey started from 29. 29 he started, and then to the 35 he became enlightened. So this journey was depicted here, and in a way, if you see this journey, we will be inspired. Wow, this is amazing. I'm so lucky to have met with these two lines, which actually is being treasured by His Holiness the Dalai Lama and commented upon by the great logician, saint scholar, Acharya Dharmadhatu. Okay, so what we do is that the detailed study, you have to study those 283 stanzas, right? I'm going to take you just a glimpse of these two lines. Say, okay, two years ago, when I was in Singapore, during the one-on-one interview, one-on-one meeting, there was some Singaporean professor, and the Singaporeans, generally speaking, they're very gentle. Then I was expecting the same thing from this professor. The professor came. Then he said, "You're a Buddhist." I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you think that you're going to be a Buddhist if you're not born in a Buddhist family?" Wow, it's a big question. Do you think that you're going to be a Buddhist if you are not born in a Buddhist family? Wow, I said that this is a very serious question. We must not forget this question. In fact, minimum 80% of the people following any religion, 80% of the people, minimum 80% of the people following religions, they're all following because they're born in that tradition. You're getting it? Okay. So now, see, reading these two lines is not about following a religion. Reading these two lines, you will learn how to you will discover who you are in the first place. Then you will discover your potentials. Then you will discover how to be a happy person, how to get into fears, how to live in a very happy state of mind despite the challenging situations. Okay, that is important. And then with this, okay, what I described of someone who lives fearlessly, someone who lives with such a joy. Okay, is this what the boys are seeking or the girls are seeking? Both. Or they say the educated or non-educated? Both. And youngsters or the 20 below or 20 plus? Both. Everyone seeks that. Whether you're a believer or non-believer, both. Everybody seeks that. This is what we are trying to get to. Once you get there, then if you are a Jew, remain a good Jew. If you are a Muslim, remain a good Muslim. If you are a Buddhist, remain a good Buddhist. If you are a non-believer, remain a good non-believer. If you're a Christian, remain a good Christian. If you're a Baha'i follower, remain a good Baha'i follower. So with the conviction that, yes, I have this potential. Yes, I have I know how to get the fearlessness. I know how to have the expansive happiness. Okay, this is the point. With this in mind, if you see, the one who has transformed into the reliable guide. So this line says, the one who has transformed into the reliable guide. Reliable guide meaning somebody who can guide us to what we seek. Okay, don't think that you are Israeli, don't think that you are a believer or non-believer, whatever. Just tell me, what do you want? Anybody? What do you want in your life? Somebody? Happiness. Huh? Peace of mind. Then? Huh? Anyone? Love. Then? Joy. Huh? Good health. Okay, once I was in Cambridge, I met with a physicist, and we were having a meeting in his, not really meeting, the dinner. Then his wife was there, and two of us, he only discussed on philosophy, science. Then his wife said that, I don't know what two of you are discussing. I'm least interested in this. This is what she said, the wife said. And she said, for me to be very honest, I want wealth and money. So with this, I can have an easy life, right? So some people, they seek wealth. Some people, they seek promotion. Some people, they seek the political authority, power, right? This is how people have different aspirations. But if you don't ask the next question, we see that there are variant aspirations. But if you ask the second question, we'll see that all these variant millions of aspirations, they will come boil down to the same point. Why do you want wealth? So that I'll be happy. Why do you want promotion? So that I'll be happy. Why do you want good health? So that I'll be happy. Why do you want political power? So that I'll be happy. So in other words, everybody seeks happiness, everybody shuns miseries. This is reality. So, because this is what we are seeking, this young prince Siddhartha, he actually transformed. He transformed into the reliable guide. Somebody as a guide to guide the people, the guide the beings to the state of what we are seeking. That is happiness. What are we seeking? That is fearlessness. Fearlessness and happiness. Okay, so how did it happen? This is very important. How did it happen? First, he was in a palace. And then the palace, luxury, indulgence, all were there. Then he could see that in the palace, there are so many, the injustices there, right? And the ordinary servants are suffering terribly, and some of the prince and all these people, they are just bullying others. This was what he was seeing, witnessing. This young prince, Siddhartha, who was so kind, born as very kind, very intelligent, sharp, and he could witness all these unfair things happening in the palace. Then on top of that, he could witness wars happening. Wars because of which so many innocent civilians are getting killed. And seeing this, he realized that simply by becoming a king is not the answer to all these problems. We must look for a solution. So he was initially motivated by what? Driven by what force? It says, motivated by the text. Motivated by altruism to benefit the beings. Altruism to benefit the sentient beings. This is what motivated him. So this prince, when he was a prince, he renounced everything. We would crave to become a prince, and he renounced everything. Motivated by altruism to benefit all beings, knowing that simply by being in a palace, become the king, is not the answer to all these problems. So I must go to look for the answer. So then he he met with two teachers. The first teacher, Teacher Alar Kalam, he met with the teacher, and he received teachings from him. Very soon, he reached the same level of spiritual realization as the teacher. And he asked for more teachings, and the teacher said, okay, now you have already reached the ultimate. And he said that, no, I have not reached the ultimate. Still, I do not have the answer to solve the problems of all the sentient beings. Then he sought the help of the second teacher. A second teacher, again, more spiritually realized than the first one. Again, within a few days, he reached the same level as the second teacher. And the second teacher said that you already reached the final. There's nothing that you can learn more now. And you stay with me, and all my students are your student. This was what he said. And again, the Prince Siddhartha said, no, this is not what for I came here. I'm still here to get answer to all the problems of the sentient beings. Then for 6 years, under the Bodhi tree, he sat in meditation, and finally he got answer. So this answer is what? Knowing that all our problems, who are these beings for whom he is trying to look for answer? Who are these beings? Huh? All the sentient beings like us, right? Don't think that 2,500 years ago we are included, right? So he went there for us. So he realized that all our problems, somehow they are rooted to the ignorance. All our problems, somehow they are rooted to ignorance. So ignorance is like darkness. In dark you don't see, with the ignorance you don't see the reality. So how to get rid of the darkness? How to get rid of darkness? By introducing the light, right? It is only through introducing the light that the darkness can be eliminated. Likewise, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eliminated. So he was looking for the light of the wisdom. So this light of the wisdom, if he finds, is what he is going to share with all the beings. So he's going to teach all the beings with this light. So it says, the teacher. By altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher. The teacher means that he should become a teacher to guide the beings, to eliminate the darkness of ignorance, and first to teach what he is to teach the beings. So this experience of the wisdom, he experimented on himself. Okay, how many of you know about this? There is one, what is that? The ulcer, and then a doctor discovered some antibiotics for the ulcer. And first, you have to experiment it. So he experimented on himself, right? He first took the bacteria to create the ulcer more problem, and then he had this problem. Then he started to take the antibiotics, and the problem was over. So likewise, the Prince Siddhartha, he experimented the wisdom on himself to see how it works, and then it worked. It worked by cleansing all his own mental defilements, cleansing all his miseries, fears. What's the opposite of fear? Hey, what's the opposite of fear? Courage, fearlessness, peace. Right? With fear, there's no peace. So he started to experience a very profound peace, which is known as Sugata. The teacher, the Sugata. He experienced this Sugatahood within himself. Sugata meaning the one who has gone to the bliss. The bliss. The Sugata meaning the one who has gone to the bliss. Perfect bliss. Perfect bliss where all the mental turbulence stops. Then with that experience, then he started to go out to actually protect the beings. That makes him the protector. Do you follow this? One who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, the protector, to you I make prostrations. You getting it? Okay, this is the journey. So now, this Prince Siddhartha, at the age of 35, under the Bodhi tree, he became enlightened. He became enlightened, meant whatever he discovered, he was to share this with all the beings. Now instead of sharing, he was remaining in the meditation, not at all teaching anything. Then the kings of the celestial beings, they descended to make request to him. Please don't, the full awakened one, please don't remain silent. Please turn the wheel of Dharma. Turn the wheel of Dharma means give teachings. Please turn the wheel of Dharma. So he was made the request, and then he said one stanza. So the verse in English translation, it is profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light, non-composite. Such a nectar-like Dharma is what I've discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the words. So it is there in this text. Did you find it? Okay, I think it should be in the next page. Next page, verse 4, profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear-light and non-composite. Such is the nectar-like Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one who to fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the words. So this is what he said. This prince, the enlightened one, the blessed one, he said this. And then the kings of the celestial beings, they make more prostrations and requests, and then finally ascended to give teachings. Okay, from there, then he started to give teachings. So the teaching that he gave came to be classified into three groups, known as the first turning of wheel of Dharma, second turning of wheel of Dharma, and the third turning of wheel of Dharma. Meaning that the teachings, he gave the first teaching, second teaching, third teaching. These three teachings came to be known as three turnings of the wheel of Dharma. You getting it? Okay, these are technical terms. Three turnings of the wheel of Dharma. For that, to know these things so well, if you know these three things so well, then you will get a very complete, holistic picture of the Buddha's teachings. To know that, we need to know three things. The place where the teaching was given, target audience of the teaching, and the subject matter of the teaching. Okay, let us say this again. To know these three things well, the three turns wheel of Dharma well, we need to know three things with each of the three wheels. So what are the three things? The place where the teaching was given, the target audience, then subject matter of the teaching. Three things. Okay, the first teaching, the first turning wheel of Dharma happened in, the place is Varanasi or Sarnath, the place. Okay, how many of you been there to Varanasi? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, many of you. Okay, which means you can remember it very easily. The place where the first teaching of Dharma was done, of Varanasi or Sarnath. Now what's next? The target audience. Okay. The target audience. To know the target audience is not that easy. So you should equally be taking part with me, taking part in this interaction. So there we need to remember a few things. To know the target audience, we need to know the classification of the Buddhist philosophy. The classifications of the Buddhist philosophy. The whole Buddhist philosophy, because that the final teaching of the Buddha happened to be very profound. So to get there, we need to climb through the steps. So total there are 4 steps. These 4 steps came to be known as the 4 Buddhist schools, 4 Buddhist philosophical schools or philosophy schools. Okay, what are they? Vaibhashika, Sautantrika, Chittamatra, Madhyama. Okay, many of you already know that. Okay, those who you are new to this, don't worry. Right, just try to remember these 4, and of course later on little complications meaning further divisions can happen. But overall speaking, these are 4 things which we have to remember. Vaibhashika, lower school. Then next one is Sautantrika school. Then number 3 is Chittamatra or mind-only school. And the 4th one is Madhyamika or the middle way school. 4. Okay, if you know these 4 well, then we will get the target audience of the 3 teachings. The first teaching, the target audience is the Vaibhashika and Sautantrika, the 2 lower schools. Because this teaching is so profound that initially we can't really expect somebody to understand what the Buddha discovered under the Bodhi tree. So he taught something very simple, which tallies with the ordinary people's thinking. So the subject matter number 3. Subject matter is Four Noble Truths. The subject matter is Four Noble Truths. Now the Four Noble Truths can be taught in a very simple way and in a very sophisticated way. But he taught the very simple one first. First Noble of Dharma. Tell me. The place, Varanasi or Sarnath, and target audience, Vaibhashika and Sautantrika. And then the subject matter, Four Noble Truths. Very good. Okay. Now the second Noble of Dharma. Second Noble of Dharma. Let us put it like this. The Four Noble Truths. What are the Four Noble Truths? Truth of suffering, truth of cause of suffering, truth of cessation of suffering, truth of path leading to cessation. Those of you who are new, again, you have to remember these four. Right? In a way, those who are new, you're very lucky. You're like in a PhD program. Right? Okay, so they don't think that, very complicated. I thought it's going to be very exciting, very interesting. There are so many things to remember, right? You look at it from the positive side. I'm very lucky that I'm in a PhD program, although I'm yet to do my master's, right? Undergrad. Okay, so that's going to be, we have to remember these things. The Four Noble Truths, the truth of suffering, the truth of cause of suffering. Then number 3. Truth of cessation of suffering. Truth of cessation of suffering, the third one. Okay, what do you understand about truth of cessation of suffering? Anybody?
Free of suffering.
That one can be freed of suffering. Anybody else?
There is a medicine.
Huh?
There is a medicine.
This actual medicine, once you have it, your problem's over. Okay, so look, the truth of the cessation of suffering, number 3, can be understood in 2 levels. One, the way explained by Mary? Yeah, Mary and Neer. Okay, so the way the Mary and Neer explained, that is on how conventionally it's understood. Now the very subtle way of understanding this, to understand it in a very profound way, this is what we're going to study from this text. You getting it? So this text plays a very important role to understand what is the truth of cessation. Then you will feel such awe. Okay, now I got the panacea, the medicine to heal all my fears. Okay, the truth of cessation of suffering. Now the truth of the cessation of suffering, to know this, we need to know the concept of emptiness. How many of you in your life you have heard about the concept of emptiness? Okay, how many of you are hearing this for the first time? Emptiness concept. 1. Okay, is there anyone else who is hearing emptiness for the first time? Okay, don't worry. Okay, so emptiness concept, this is very important. It's very important, and I'll try to explain it because while I'm staying with Shahala and his family, so the particular 2 of us, we had a good discussion about the need for the sharing the concept of emptiness, and I know that Dioran is also very interested in that emptiness. So this is extremely precious concept, and if we read, for example, say there's a little problem there, I have a cold problem, then I take medicine, the problem's over. But although we say that it's over now, no, anytime again I can contract the cold. So the fearlessness to get rid of all fears of life, be it very tiny, very small, insignificant fear, as okay, it's a little hot now, 42 degrees centigrade here, so whether or not my AC is working, right, I'm in a new place. It's such a small fear, to a very big fear about the risk of